From retro to next gen, we've got it all. I'm George, a Gen X grown-up, and this is Bit by Bit. Alright, here's a pinball bit of news from a couple of different websites, and the reason why I'm talking about two different articles here is because they both have really good points about the new Pinball FX VR system that has recently been released. And I'm a big pinball fan, so you know I've done a lot of research on this system. I'm kind of considering, do I want to get it? I don't think it's worth it to me unless I get that physical device that's out there, and I forgot the name of it, but it's the one where it's like a little stand that you can walk up to, and it's got all the buttons and controls that you would want for an arcade game, including pinball buttons on the side of it. Anyway, over here at thegamer.com, they basically go through and just point out all the really great things about Pinball FX VR, talking about the environments and the gameplay itself, the games that you start off with, like Pinball Noir, which is one of my favorite Pinball FX titles, especially really good on the handheld mobile version. They've got the Indiana Jones cabinet is talking about, and they claim that this is the best virtual pinball, hands down. I know there's a couple of different systems out there. Some of them are free to play. Pinball FX VR obviously is a paid service, and that's kind of what I wanted to get into with this other article here over at Vice.com. They love it as well, but they're worried about the DLC prices killing the vibe, and I don't really blame them. So it's a beautiful system. They've got, like, you can walk in, you can see here in this image, there's a Williams Pinball Hall, and then there's this other pinball hall over here that has a different theme, and I love that stuff that you can walk around in this virtual arcade and do that. That's great, but check out some of these prices here. You're going to have to pay $9.99 just to get the original game, and then in upwards of $15 per table. Now, as far as video game purchases in an environment or a system such as this, that's a little on the expensive side when you consider the regular Pinball FX is usually like around $5 a table. But this is virtual reality. Maybe it costs them more to develop these. I'm not really sure. It's just a little bit, like I say, it kind of kills the vibe, like they say. You can buy the premium bundle and save up to $50, which is good, but that's still pretty expensive. I think all total, I read that you would have to pay like $80 to get everything that is available right now, which is AAA premium title pricing when you think about that. And there's going to be more that's going to be coming out. So I think your mileage may vary in this case of Pinball FX VR, and these two articles, which I'll have links to in the description of the video, really make some good points. I think you should take some time and read them. And here is another top 10 list from our friends over at GameRant.com. The best 90 video game consoles that everybody forgot. First off, at least they did the top 10 list right. They start at number 10 and go down to number 1. I'm not sure if I agree with the title about everyone forgot, because I pretty much know all of these consoles and remember them either wanting them or even having a couple of them. So first off, Tiger Electronics R-Zone. This one I definitely heard of, but didn't have. February 95, they give a brief little synopsis of each one of these as you go down the list. Sega 32X, absolutely very cool system. The Atari Lynx 2, not the 1, but the Lynx 2. I guess they feel that more people forgot about the Lynx 2 than the Lynx 1. The 3DO, nobody has forgotten about that one. That one's talked about in every list, especially the ones talking about how expensive it was to own in 93, which was kind of its downfall. Look at this, $700, $1,500 today. That was a bit crazy. All right, here's one, BitCorp GameMate. I don't remember this one. And they're right. Likely most people have never heard of the GameMate by BitCorp. Okay, very cool. I might have to do a little bit of research on this. Of course, the Jaguar from Atari. Everybody loves that system. The Sega Nomad, their handheld system. That was pretty cool. A lot of batteries, as I remember right, in that one. But could play a lot of cool stuff. The Amiga CD32, yeah, this one I've seen on a couple of different YouTube channels, especially over in England, that this was, I guess, very popular over there. I didn't have one here, but I love me some Amiga, Commodore Amiga. They made their mistakes, unfortunately. SNK Neo Geo. Okay, everybody loves and has heard of the Neo Geo stuff. And then finally, the Philips CDI. Again, nothing that I've forgotten, but still very cool. A good list, short little synopsis, probably a 5-minute read or so. Link will be in the description down there if you're interested in finding anything out about these older, rare consoles. Here's another retro gaming bit from our friends over at TimeExtension.com. The Sega Genesis Classic Phantasy Star II is coming to the Amiga after all these years. Like decades and decades later, Phantasy Star II, it's getting an unofficial port. It's being created by some fan developers, Monoz and a musician named Simone JMD Bernaccia. I hope that's right. That's probably wrong. Anyway, they're using the Scorpion engine to bring this over to the Amiga, which is a tool that apparently is used for Amiga, Sega Mega Drive Genesis, and SNK Neo Geo stuff. You can right now grab a demo at this link over on itch.io. A lot of cool games over there. This is definitely one of them now. Right now, the demo only has a little bit of the game, they say. It's just got like the intro, and you can run around a little bit, do a couple of small fights, buy some stuff. But they do plan on finishing the game. Right now, you can only really play it smoothly on the 1200. They're hoping to move it over to the 500 shortly. He does talk about wanting to make some modifications to it, though, to make the fighting a little bit more like Phantasy Star IV instead of the Phantasy Star II engine that the game was originally part of. Anyway, good video here for the demo of it. Couple of stuff here on YouTube that you can find in this article. I'll have the link down in the description. If you're a fan of Phantasy Star, you might want to check this out. Here's an unusual retro gaming bit from our friends over at tomshardware.com. A maker has created a Raspberry Pi 5 wall arcade. Now, take a look at this here in the images. That looks gorgeous to me, but that's not a TV screen. So here's the lowdown on this thing. It's essentially a Raspberry Pi 5 that is connected to, right here, it's connected to a whole bunch of Hub 75 RGB matrix panels. There's like 4 of them that are 64 by 64 panels, and it's inside of an IKEA picture frame of all things. The little printed brackets here are part of it. They're from a 3D print. That's where you get those cool colors, and that's what you can use everything to mount with. Here's a picture of the back side of it and everything. It's also using an Adafruit RGB matrix bonnet. Yeah, that talks about that right here. Anyway, really cool thing is this guy has listed this all at the Raspberry Pi project board. So there's a link here in the article. You can go take a look at it. It looks really cool. This would be a fun statement piece. You see he's got it paired up with what looks to be an 8-bit-do retro wireless controller there. I mean, can you just imagine somebody walking into your house and you've got this thing up on there and it's just the picture, and then you say, hey, want to play a game? And right away you're playing Donkey Kong on this picture frame. That's just cool as hell. That's going to do it for the news making headlines in the gaming world right now. I am George, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, and I'll keep on bringing you the news bit by bit.